go for, I don't know, about a minute or two. I just need to hear you talk for a little bit, Trav.
Alright. Testing. Testing. Talking. Seeing what my voice sounds like.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete this video anyway. So, where's your lady at?
She's at work.
Mm.
She's gone. She's working. The man.
Cool.
Very busy. Very busy day, I would imagine. So busy.
Right. You hear anything back from Daryl yet?
In regards to...
Just in general, because he hasn't responded to any of the group text messages, so I don't know if, you said his number may have got changed or something?
Oh yeah, because he did text me from a new number. I can tell you it now, or text it to you.
Yeah, text it to me. Let me know what the number is. Oh, so while we're doing this, so I had a few ideas about how we could go about doing this. I think that either a half hour, 45 minutes, or an hour is like a good run time for doing something like this. Also, I don't know if you watch any like gamer channels on YouTube, but there are a few that I watch. Specifically, hold on. Specifically, this guy called Maximilian Dude, who broadcasts a lot of fighting games. Excuse me. He broadcasts a lot of fighting games. He also does like Blackout. And what the fuck, dude? This fucking, oh god, this fucking Pugs bullshit. I think I'm getting a piece of taping this fucker in here. It keeps falling out. But he has a group of guys who he plays with. It's like a bunch of his friends, and they have another channel called Yo Video Games. And they have two boxes usually on their screen. They have one box that shows the whole room, so you can see all four of the guys. And then he has a face cam he usually positions at the bottom of the screen. And what he does is he plays games, but usually while he's playing, he'll interact with the chat. They'll ask him questions and they'll kind of banter back and forth with them, or he'll just sit around and kind of talk with his friends about general topics, you know, like maybe they'll talk about a new game that's coming out, or maybe they'll talk about you know, what's happening, you know, they'll just give commentary on the game that they're playing. Not commentary as in like they're watching it in the third person, but just the general banter between the four of them as they go along and play the game. Now, the other big channel that I watch is Game Grumps. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with those guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, no, actually, I'm not.
You're not? Okay. Game Grumps is a channel. It's been out for a pretty long time, and they've got a lot of really good shit in there. But their videos are different from Max in the sense that the entire screen has game footage on it. You never see the two guys as they do it, and they don't necessarily give commentary on the gameplay that they're within the process of doing. They more or less give overarching comments on topics. So for instance, if they're playing like a Mega Man game, they'll talk about their past experiences with Mega Man, the history of the series, things like that, and only one of them plays. One of them will play and the other one will watch them play. So like if one of them's playing and he's fucking up a lot, that will obviously become the topic about, you know, how they're fucking up. And there's a lot of jokes. Those guys take improv classes, so they're constantly joking about things. That seems a lot more like the kind of conversations that me and you had back in the past. But they'll also just, maybe they'll talk for 15 minutes not about the game at all, you know, and they'll just go off on something completely different. They might talk about a band that they like, or they may talk about a movie that's coming out, or so on and so forth. But the gameplay is always happening in the background. They play a lot of platformers, or they'll play shittier games. And I think that one of the main concepts of the show is that Aaron who is the guy who was on the channel originally. It's Aaron and Dan are the two guys. Aaron is well versed in a lot of different video games, while Dan is kind of a noob. So Aaron will walk Dan through the games in a sense, while Dan plays, and Aaron will kind of give background commentary and support to it. So I'm thinking there's a couple of ways we can go at this. Since we're gonna have, I think we can maybe go for like 2 or 3 hours and give us like 3 or 4 different sets of videos. We can go and we can try different formats for each one. You know, like the initial lead in, like maybe we could do the first one. We'll go into it. Hey, it's a TNK connection. You know, Markeem, Travis, or you know, Travis and he's Travis. I'm Keem. This is a TNK connection. Blah blah blah. This is a throwback to something we used to do back in the day, and we're kind of building off of that. You know, Trav, why don't you tell them about the original concept for the show and how we came up with it? While we're playing the game, you know, you would kind of go into what the idea was and how we came off that, and then we'll kind of bounce back and forth between that. And if something comes up in the game where we need to communicate, we'll obviously break off from that, communicate for a minute within the game, and then we'll go back to the main thread of commentary. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I can follow.
Right. So as we go along, as we feel like we get into the topics more and more, a topic will obviously change, right? So like we'll talk about the original concept for the show, how we came up with it a few years, you know, we came up with it when we were younger. We'll talk about that for a minute, and I may go, so Trav, I may be like, so to get into, you know, one of the major things that's going on right now, what was your 2018 game of the year? You know, and then you might talk for 3 or 4 minutes while I kind of pop in, interject, and things like that as you describe your game of the year, your reasons for it, so on and so forth, and we'll kind of bounce back and forth like that. I'd like to do that for the first stream and see how comfortable we are with that kind of format. One of the things I don't want to have is a lot of silence. Because we don't have face cams. Like if we had face cams, you know, people seeing us focus on the game for a minute would be a little bit different. But because we don't have that, the audio from us is all they have to go off. And we don't have editing right now either. You know, it's not like one of us is going to sit in front of a computer and re-edit this. So we kind of have to be as smooth as possible with the back and forth and just try to keep the banner up. Now, are we going to talk for 45 minutes straight? No. There may be a gap where we're just kind of focused on gameplay and we're not saying anything for a few minutes. That's fine.
Yeah, because you got to turn yourself on for it if you're actually trying to make content.
Right. So this is a rough draft. All these are going to be 1.0s, 1.1, 1.2s. I don't even know if we're going to keep any. We'll probably keep these videos just for the fuck of it. Hold on. Let me go ahead and check the audio on this. I'm going to end this and check what the audio on it sounds like.